Sometimes you got to know this is only a test that I'm going through. Sometimes you got to look at this situation and understand that, yes, I'm going through a tight part. Yes, I'm going through a tight situation right now. But if I believe that God is taking me through this, go through anyhow. He said in that, in the text that, in other words, Job, the man, in a span of time, lost all of his children. Lost all of his livestock. Even to the point, even his wife had said, you know what, Job, you ought to cuss God and die. But Job, looked at the situation, understand that the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. He said, naked I came into this world and naked I shall return. But all the days of my appointed time, I'm going to wait until my change comes. Right. You got to know what season I'm in. Job had to understand, even though I'm going through a tight time right now, even though I'm going through some hard situations, I got to still hold on to God's unchanging hand. I wish I had somebody with me this morning. That just because things ain't going the way you think they ought to, don't turn your back on God. Yes, I understand jobs are getting scarce. And it would appear, that maybe God had forgotten about us. Yes, you got some situations that are going on, and maybe you did like Paul did. Maybe you done prayed 3 times, but God still say, my grace is sufficient. In other words, he letting you know that it's only a season. If I can make it through this season, look what this next season got in store for me. What do you mean, Pastor? Yes, we in the winter time right now, and yes, it might get cold, but I'm looking at the trees, and the trees starting to change. I'm looking at the flowers, and they starting to bud out. The Lord has showed me some things that it ain't gonna be like this always. Sometimes you gotta go through a dark situation so he can show you the light. The crepe myrtle starting to bud out. The azalea bushes are starting to put their pink flowers on. So, but just a few weeks ago, everything was looking kind of grim. The grass finna bring itself back. So you ought to look at nature and understand, if God loved the grass enough to let it wither just for a little while, but don't you know it's only a matter of time that the grass going to have to come back green. You got to tell yourself what season I'm in now. I'm not going to stay this way. My body's always not going to be aching with pain. My children are not going to always be acting up. My money ain't always going to be funny. My change is on the way. But I got to season I'm in.
That's right.
I got to find out what season am I in. Yes, it's going to have